Hello, we are live. This is Mompreneurs to Millionaires. So glad you're here. Give me a little wave if you're here. I'd love to know, see if you're here. Thank you so much for coming. Today we are talking about freebie strategy. So freebie strategy to grow your email list specifically. So we're going to talk about what kinds of freebies you can have, right? What do you do with it? And really how to get it working for you, what it can really do for your business. So stick around, it's going to be good. Let me know if you're watching on the live, just say live below, or let me know if you're watching on the replay, just say replay below. I'd love to know who's coming in the day of and who's coming in afterwards. Awesome. Thanks so much for being here. All right, so do you have a lead magnet, right? That's kind of what we're talking about, using a freebie as a way to get people into your world. Tell me below, do you have a lead magnet? And if you want to drop yours, right, feel free to do that. If you have a landing page or whatever, wherever we can do that, or just talk about it below, feel free to share with us. But do you have a lead magnet? If you don't have a lead magnet, are you thinking of one, or what is stopping you, right? Or what are your thoughts about that? I would love to know below why maybe you don't have a lead magnet, or what's kind of holding you back, right? What are the challenges? That would be great to know. So today we are going to talk about like what kinds of lead magnets to use, what kind of freebies to use, how to get them working for you, and how to help them grow your email list. So should be fun. Definitely stick around. So I love working on this with my clients because I think the freebie, this is where I really get creative. And I think it gives you an opportunity as a business owner to really get creative as well, because you already have experience with, right, your specialty. You already have experience with your zone of genius. You can really think about what would be that little enticing, juicy something that someone would be willing to drop their email for. And these are the things that are going to spark whatever else it is, their interest in whatever else you offer, right? So sparking that, even knowing that something is a problem, right? That's really the key. So if you are in the wellness space, right? Many people, that's kind of a giant field. But if you specialize in specific areas, maybe offer something, right? Like a top 10 list in those specific areas. Think about myth busting or, right? Stuff like that. So we'll talk a little bit more about some ideas, but definitely this is the opportunity to get creative. So I love working with my clients one-on-one, where we can really look at their business and come up with some creative new ideas that maybe aren't offered in their field that we can create to really get the conversation going and get people excited and like, yes, I want that freebie, and yes, I need to get in her world, and yes, I need more, right? That's really the goal. So I love that part of working, and I would love to look at your business as well. So if you feel like this is something that you're struggling with, if you are not able to move your business forward, if you are at all worried about leads, if you are at all worried about sales, if you are at all worried about strategy, I would love to talk with you. I am known as the leads relationship coach because I love creating relationships in your business. I think relationships are what is going to build you revenue, not more content, right? We talk about content here in this group some, but I really think that focusing on relationships is going to get you to paid clients faster, not making more pretty content, right? Posting and hoping. Tell me below if you are stuck in a posting and hoping strategy. I don't think posting and hoping works. I was stuck there for years, right? Don't waste years like I did. So if you need a new strategy, definitely let's talk. Just say strategy below. All right, so this video is for go-getters, right? If you are watching this, you are wanting some little tidbit to help move that business forward, right? You are a go-getter, you are resourceful. So with that, I invite you to put on your abundance crown, right? I love calling it a crown because you are a goddess. We all have the power within. We have far more power than we give ourselves credit for. So put on your abundance crown. And to me, abundance means that all things are possible, right? All things are possible, but you have the power to change. Only you, right? No one is coming to save your business. No one is going to tell you what to do. You have to be the one who actually does the action. So with that, with your abundance mindset, I really invite you to write down 2 things that you get from this video. Like I said, you're a go-getter, you're an action taker. I want you to get something from this video. Something, if you're spending time with me today, right, watching this, I want you to get something out of it. So write 2 action items that you hear today, whether it's an aha moment or, oh, I hadn't thought about that, or, oh, I'm going to try that, right? I'd love to hear what your 2 action items, because I really want you to be able to move your business forward, right? We don't need to download a bunch of more free content that gets us nowhere, right? It's usually, if we're downloading a bunch of free content, taking a bunch of free courses, it can be very disparate, right? It can be very shiny object, right? It kind of takes us down all these different paths and can really distract us from kind of one main strategy or one main objective, right? So I really invite you to really take something from this video and how it relates to your main strategy, or if you're not sure what your main strategy is, definitely let's chat about that. All right, so if you're new here, my name's Christina. Like I said, I'm a leads relationship coach. I love helping you build relationships, not spend all your time posting and hoping, right? Not focused on creating content. Content is important, and I want it to be on the back burner, but I want you focused on building relationships. That's going to turn into clients. So I love talking about the bike shop. My husband and I started our little dream business back in 2014, and it was a bike shop, coffee shop. He liked bikes, I liked coffee. It was a perfect little conglomerate of our marriage. And we learned so much with that brick and mortar store, right? Oh my gosh, so many lessons. And I always like to say, I'm so glad it happened, and I'm so glad it failed, right? It's sad to say, and it was a heartache at the time, of course, but I am so glad that we are out the other side. So if you are at all struggling with your business, I know exactly how you feel, right? I would love to talk with you and share some tips and get you moving forward, because I've been there, I've done it, I closed the business, cried about it, and I'm on the other side, right? So I want you to get there too, if you feel like that's where you're at. So with that bike shop, we did a lot of freebies, right? Going back to freebies, that is one of my favorite things to talk about, because you can really, like I said, get creative. At the bike shop, I needed people in my door like yesterday, right? So the bike shop was really easy to come up with some ideas. We would do free coffee, just come in for a free black cup of coffee, right? We would do, occasionally, we would do like a free little quick adjustment. So it could be like a brake adjustment, and then usually they needed more intensive repairs or something like that, right? So we would think about smaller freebies that we could offer to get you in the door. That was the idea. What I wish I had capitalized on back then, which I wasn't, right? I wasn't as savvy as I am now, but I wish I had grabbed more emails. I wish I had utilized my email list. I collected some emails here and there. I had a small email list, but I rarely sent emails, right? I definitely was not utilizing that email list. And here's what I'll say about the email list, right? I've done lots of different workshops on emails. So if that's something you're interested in, just say email below. But specifically about the freebie strategy is that if you are collecting emails, send the emails, right? Send emails. So that's such a big part of it. But what I want to say about emails is that if Facebook shuts down tomorrow, right? If all the social media platforms shut down tomorrow, I don't think it's happening, but right? If it does, what do you have? What do you have as an asset to your business? Typically, it is just your email list. And if you don't have an email list, you have no way of setting up shop elsewhere, right? If there is a mass, whatever happens with Facebook, right? If there's technical glitch, something happens, Facebook shuts down tomorrow, or any of the other platforms, that if you're putting all your eggs into one basket, what do you have for your business, right? Really think about that. If you needed to set up shop somewhere else, if your Facebook group shuts down, right? If your account gets hacked or any of those things, right? What do you really have in your business? So this to me is really a safety measure, is to start collecting emails, as well as it can be your follow-up strategy, right? So we're going to talk more about that, but definitely think about using a freebie to collect emails so that you have something in your business. You have an asset, right? That's the only thing that you get to own in this social media world, right? You don't own your accounts, you don't own any of your people. So that is a way to have your audience in your back pocket. Okay, so we're going to talk about definitely building that email list. So again, at the bike shop, I wish I had done this. When the bike shop shut down, I turned it into my passion, right? Because I saw that I was, of course, a woman business owner, and I felt like I was alone. Many of you, right? If you feel like you are alone in this world of business, you are not. There are so many of us that want to help. I really think we are not meant to do this alone. I think we are meant to be in community together. And I really believe building a community around your business of loyal supporters is the way that you are going to get people to pay you money for whatever services you offer, right? Is building those loyal supporters that want to support you and have already kind of invested or bought into your system, your beliefs, whatever that looks like, your personality, and they want to support you. That is your best group of paying customers. So building a community to me is really important about figuring out who gets into that community and what you do with it, what you talk about, right? I always say at the bike shop, that was the one amazing lesson that we learned, is that we built a Facebook group. We built a Facebook group for the bike shop to have events, to get people to come into the shop, to really get people to rally behind, mostly for those events, for those bike rides. We went on specific rides, cupcakes and cruisers, that was my jam. But what I think is such a testament to Facebook groups and community is that Facebook group we started back in 2014 is still existing to this day. There are still people involved in that Facebook group that go on rides together. 10 years later, right now, 12 years later, that is such a great testament to community. People want to belong and share the same beliefs, share the same interests, right? People want to be a part of something and move together. So that's what I love about creating Facebook groups for business, is I think it is such a powerful way to start those relationships, start those conversations, and build that community of belonging around your business. So that's something that interests you, definitely say Facebook group below. I'd love to chat with you more about that. But getting to our main goal today. So we're going to talk about 3 kind of tips for starting a freebie, creating a freebie, or having a freebie strategy to build your email list. So the first one, of course, is what is your freebie, right? So if you're not sure, or if you don't have a freebie yet, right, or you're thinking about a new one, or you don't feel like your freebie is effective at the moment, then this is something to think about. Really think about what is something that you yourself would want. What would be exciting, right? What would really get you to drop their email, right? That's the goal, is you're giving them something in order to get something from them. So you're giving them a little bit of something and they drop their email in order to get that something, right? That's really the goal. Now, you can have freebies that you just give away for free, and that's totally great too. But I would always say make sure that you have a way of capturing their information, following up with them, whatever that looks like, right? If you are just using the DMs, you could do that as well. But again, if Facebook shuts down or Instagram shuts down, you don't have another way of contacting them. So I would always encourage you to collect those emails. So the first one, right, is what is your freebie? So really think about what you would want and what you would put value to, that you would be willing to drop your email for. So this can look like a lot of different ways, but one of my number 1 tips is to figure this out, is to use Canva, right? If any of you are Canva fans, I love Canva, but this is a great place to get ideas. Their template library is vast, right? They have so many amazing ideas. So if you are maybe a parenting coach, right? You could look on there and say, what are top parenting tips, right? Start there. You could put your own take on it. Or if you are in the exercise, fitness and health, right? Ask Canva, top five tips, fitness tips, right? Something like that. And what's great about Canva is it really can spark the idea, right? You don't have to steal whatever exactly template there is, but it's really a starting place. And that's what's so beautiful, is that, right, it gives you a really easy starting place. You can just swap out some text, swap out the colors, add your logo if you want, right? Put in a picture of yourself if you want. Like, it's really easy to use those templates and make it work for your business. So it's a really great place, I think, to start getting ideas for freebies. So I think freebies should be something really tangible and really easy. So I like to think about like I said, a top 5 tips list, maybe your 3 favorite resources for counting calories, or getting exercise ideas, or whatever fits your business, right? If it's YouTube channels that you follow for meditation, if it's TikTok accounts that you use for vacation ideas or home decorating, or whatever that looks like, right? Come up with like a resources list, or it could be just a top myths, right? I love myth busting. What are the top, 10 myths in the wellness industry, or in in parenting maybe, or right, something to that effect. Think about what works for you and your clients, and what you could give as a little list. So, and the other thing I love is quizzes, right? So if it's a quiz that really asks some important questions to get your audience to really think about whatever it is that you offer, right? So like I have a sales personality quiz. I love that quiz. And that's a really fun way. And there are some free services that will do a quiz for you, but anything that will get them in the mindset of whatever it is you offer, right? So a quiz, a list, something that's enticing and juicy and different, right? Take a look at what other people have, obviously, and see if you can do something different. So that's what I love. Really, number one is something that you yourself would like, right? And make it juicy. All right. Number two is, like I said before, collect the emails. So have some type of system to collect emails in order to get this freebie. So wherever you're advertising this freebie, if you're creating posts about it, if you're posting in other groups about this freebie, make sure you have a way to bring them back to, if it's a landing page, right? That would be a great place. My favorite funnel, of course, is Facebook groups. You can very easily just use your Facebook group as your freebie sign up. Excuse me, I always suggest that those 3 membership entry questions are really the trigger for these conversations. So in those entry questions should be one question about, do you want this specific freebie? Drop your email. That will get you email subscribers every single day, as long as you are getting people into your group every single day. But what's great about that strategy is you also have other questions on your membership entry form. So on your membership entry questions, you could have another question that's like, hey, do you want this gateway offer? Do you want to hop on a call? Are you interested in XYZ? What's your biggest struggle, kind of a thing, right? So those are some really great ways to get leads every single day and learn more about your audience. What are people responding to? Are they responding to your freebie? Are they saying, yes, they want that, right? So the Facebook group is a really easy way to collect emails every day with that specific freebie. So again, if you are collecting emails, what should you do? Send emails, right? I see this so much, that so many people are like, oh, I've got this freebie and I've got this sign up page and I've got, maybe 100 emails on this list, but I want to wait till it grows. Or maybe I've only got 10 people on my list, but I want to wait till it grows a little more. Why? Those 10 people are sitting there waiting, right? They signed up for something. They don't know how many people are on your list, right? Even if you have one person on your list, like they signed up for your freebie and clicked yes for your newsletter maybe, and they're expecting to hear from you, right? Or they wouldn't be surprised to hear from you. So follow up. Hey, how'd you like that freebie? Here's the next thing I got going on. Hey, have you thought about this? Those are really valuable places to follow up, is collect emails, send emails, right? If you're collecting emails, make sure you have some type of newsletter system in your business, right? Whether it's, even if it's just once a month, maybe you send a newsletter. If it's once a week, that's great. If it's more often than that, if you have a follow-up sequence, those are great too. But definitely, if you are collecting emails, make sure you follow up with emails. Make sure you send emails. And if you have a tech question, right, I always say I love talking mindset, strategy, and a little bit of tech, because I think obviously we all need some, tech pieces to our business. So if you feel like this freebie strategy has you a little bit weary on the back end, so if you have like a website and you're worried about how to get people into your CRM, if that's what you're using, or email system, whatever that looks like, definitely feel free to ask questions, right? I love helping with a little bit of tech problems, because I don't think we need a million third-party apps. I think as business owners, we are being targeted, right, by Facebook ads and by lots of other ads as to what you need for your business. Oh, this is going to solve all your problems. But if you start spending all of your dollars on a million different little pieces and don't know how to connect them, that's just a larger headache than the one you started with, right? You might have had one small tech problem and you got pulled into a million different places, and now you've got 3 different apps that you have to connect in order to send one email, right? To me, that sounds ridiculous. So if you have at all any tech questions, feel free to drop them below, or you can always reach out to me, because I love helping with tech on the back end. My whole goal is to simplify tech, right? I think tech should be simple. We can use it to our advantage, and you don't need a million pieces to it, right? It can be simple for sure. All right, so that is number 2, get emails, collect your emails. I think the Facebook group is the easiest way to do this. You could also do this with the landing page. You could have both, right? Because there are times when you need to send people from outside your Facebook group, but I would always suggest funneling people to your Facebook group. I use it like a sales funnel, right? It's the easiest sales funnel setup to get people in, because I think so many of us are in Facebook groups. It is a very low commitment level, right? I'm not asking you to download a different app and join my special group over here. You're already on Facebook, just join my group, right? It's a really low commitment level. And then they answer your questions and trigger conversations. So that's really the key. All right, and the third tip really for Freebie is to follow up. So if you have this amazing juicy freebie that you've created and you're giving value in that freebie, follow up with that freebie. If anyone downloads your freebie, make sure you follow up. So whether that's an email sequence or a DM, and I would always recommend both, right? If they found you on Facebook, send them a DM. Thanks so much for downloading my freebie. What'd you think? Was it helpful? What'd you think about this? Right? Follow up. Because if they were interested in that freebie, they're interested in whatever else you have. And that's the conversation to start. Follow up with a conversation. I think email is great too, to remind them, hey, don't forget you got this freebie. Hey, how's that freebie working? Hey, check out the freebie again. Here's that freebie, right? That's a great email sequence, and get them interested in whatever else you have. But definitely if they found you on Facebook or you are connected on another social media platform, follow up with a DM. Hey, thanks for downloading my freebie, right? Here, what did you think about this? How are you applying it, right? Do it. Follow up. So that's the third really part of this email strategy or freebie strategy, right? Is if someone downloads your freebie, follow up with them. Ask them how they liked it, how they incorporated, are they using it, right? Follow up. Start a conversation. So to me, again, in the DMs, you're really building relationships, and this is where you can convert people so much faster than just posting content and hoping someone responds. First of all, you're limited to the algorithm that way, right? If you're just posting and hoping, you're waiting for the algorithm to work for you. Newsflash, right? These guys over in California are not getting the algorithm working for you and me, right? That's not their goal. They want the algorithm working for them and their people, right? So they are showing people what they want. They're not showing people what you want to show people, right? They're showing people more of what they have already told Facebook that they like. So this is part of the challenge, right? So to get the algorithm working for you, to me, the easiest way is to use that Facebook group. The more you get people coming into your Facebook group and commenting inside your Facebook group, the more Facebook is going to show your group to the right people. And this is where I think the easiest way to really get that algorithm working, because a group is part of the community environment that Facebook really wants to push, right? They really want to push friends first and foremost. They're going to show you friends stuff before anything. Then they're going to show you groups and events, right? I think events and groups. They're going to show you business pages last, very dead last, right? And especially an ad, because if it was full of ads, no one would hang out on Facebook, right? So they're going to show you your friends stuff first, and then groups is really second. So definitely think about using Facebook group so that it can start conversations and contain your people. Get your people into some kind of container that is of easy, low commitment level. So that's what I love about Facebook groups. And that freebie can be a part of those entry questions, and people can sign up for it every single day. You can also think about posting about your freebie in other Facebook groups and get them back over to your Facebook group, right? If that's your sign up, that they just have to get into your Facebook group and then they get that freebie, right? Then advertise people to get into your Facebook group and advertise that freebie outside of your Facebook group and get them to come into your Facebook group. All right. So if you have any questions on Facebook groups, I would love to answer them. If you have any questions about freebies, I would also love to chat about this. This is something I always like to address in my VIP challenge. So if you are struggling with creating a freebie, if you are struggling with getting leads every day, and if you are struggling with a Facebook group that is dead or nobody's engaging, definitely my VIP challenge would be the next step. It is just a low $27 commitment, and it is one-on-one with me in Messenger. So you get my videos. I have a 5-step framework for growing your Facebook group and getting more engagement. And we go over each video inside Messenger and how it applies to your specific business. And that freebie strategy is all built within there, because that is all part of building this email list and creating these entry questions that get you leads and get you action takers to respond in your Facebook group. So this is what we all talk about in this VIP challenge. I would love to have any of you join the challenge and try out my framework to get your group growing and engaging again. If you don't have a Facebook group, that's a great place to start as well. We can start it together. Make sure it's started on the right track with the right strategy and the right tools in place so that you can carry it on. If you already have a Facebook group, but you feel like it's slow or it's dead or it's quiet and you're not getting engagement and you're not getting leads every day, then definitely that would be a great place to start as well. We can work through this framework together and really focus in and find where the gaps are in your current lead strategy, because I think it's more about building these relationships with your leads, not just spraying content and hoping for the best. So if that's something you're interested in, just say VIP below. I would love to have you in the VIP challenge and get this moving for your business. Awesome. Don't waste years like I did, like I said, right? I don't want you to make all the mistakes that I did. So I'm here to share with you how to move your business forward much quicker than I did. I spent years posting and hoping. I don't want that for you, right? I want you to move your business forward now. So if you're ready to do that, definitely I would love to chat some more. I always like to say too that if you are afraid, right? I always think that it is such a transformation as a business owner, right? I've been through so many transformations, I feel like, and it is always a learning experience. But if you are afraid to follow up or hesitant, right? You might not like the word afraid, but it is definitely your fear creeping up. If you are afraid to follow up, if you are hesitant to follow up, if you are hesitant to put yourself out there and be direct about your business, if you are hesitant to even talk about your business, definitely let's talk, because there are definitely some mindset shifts that can really help alleviate some of this hesitation, resistance built around sales, right? We often tie business to sales, and we don't want to be pushy. We don't want to be bugging people. We don't want to be salesy, right? And that can really limit our thinking. And what I heard today was so valuable, that if you are worried about being pushy, you are probably not being pushy, right? The people who are not worried about being pushy are the pushiest, right? So if you are worried about being pushy, I guarantee you're not being pushy. But there are still some stories that we are telling ourselves that we need to probably work through to shift our mindset to be able to talk openly about our business, be proud about your business, and come from a place of serving as opposed to selling, right? Coming from a place of really wanting to help and add value, I think, is a really great place to start. But there are so many different levels to this, right? I think our money mindset, like I talked about last week, is directly tied to our sales strategy. So if you feel like any of those mindset pieces resonate with you and you feel like are holding you back in your business, let's talk. Mindset is always a part of my coaching because it is such a transformational experience, right? I think owning a business really sheds so many lights on, shows you a mirror of yourself, right? Tells you so much about your past and your present. So let's talk all about it. I would love to share more with you. So if you're looking for more leads, I always promise with my clients getting 5 to 10 qualified leads at the end of my 12-week course. So if you are interested in getting 5 to 10 qualified leads every single day, let's talk and let's get your business moving today. All right. Thanks so much for staying.